Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to another episode of the Iron Life Podcast. I am your host, Chris Tutela, here to help you live the Iron Life. And first and foremost, I want to talk to you guys about supplements, because I know a lot of you guys have been reaching out. What supplements do I take? What brands do I recommend? So here's the thing. You may have heard me talk about this before, but most supplement companies are total bullshit. Whatever's on the label sometimes is not actually in the product. A lot of times you might find heavy metals, you might find fillers, you might find all types of bullshit in these products. And we're consuming that stuff unknowingly, consuming all this other crap. And maybe even a protein powder says it has 30 grams of protein, and there's really 14 grams of protein when it's third-party tested. So you got to make sure that you only take the highest quality of supplements, which is why I have joined forces with Thorne Nutrition. Thorne supplements are top of the line, guys. We know that purity is their top priority. And when you take any supplement from Thorne, we know that what's on the label is what you're actually getting. So I use their protein powder, their multivitamin, basic stuff, vitamin C, vitamin D, vitamin K, fish oil. I do use their BCAAs, and I think I said their protein powder already. So they are top of the line, which is why I recommend them. So if you guys want to get the highest quality supplements, head over to Thorne, THORNE.com, thorne.com/U. That's the letter U /Tutela. Thorne.com/U/Tutela, and you will get 10% off your next order. All right. Now, with that being said, we got a lot of exciting stuff going on, man. Before I get into the show, so as I'm recording this, next weekend, we have the Iron Business Weekend going down. Joe DeFranco and I are hosting a 2-day mastermind event over at DeFranco's Gym in East Rutherford, New Jersey, where we are filling up the gym with only 15 gym owners who want to grow and scale their businesses, make more money, make more of an impact, create more freedom in their lives, as well as learning how to deliver the highest quality, the highest level group training program at their facility, because group training, as we know, is one of the things that will create more freedom in your life and business. You could scale it, but you never want the quality of your program to suffer. So Joe D and I are putting on a 2-day event where we're training, we're talking business, we're even doing some excursions, we're having dinner and breaking bread together. It is going to be a fucking fantastic 2-day event. And if you're a gym owner and you're listening to the show, we do have a very small amount, maybe 3 spots or something like that, still available for the weekend. So if you are interested in attending, head over to ironbusinessblueprint.com/weekend, and you could sign up for one of the remaining spots, as long as it's available by the time that you listen to this. Now, with that being said, where the hell was I going with that? So we have that going on, right? Okay, I know where I was taking this. Okay, so that's next weekend. Now, with that being said, over the last several months, since Joe D and I have launched the Iron Business Blueprint, and we're doing the weekend, our next course of the Iron Business Blueprint is starting on March 26th. That's ironbusinessblueprint.com, by the way, if you want to apply for it and book a call with me. We have all this stuff going on, so we're getting a lot more gym owners, trainers, and coaches listening to this show. So if it's your first time listening, welcome. Thank you guys for tuning in. It means the world to me that you're listening to me yap up here and give me the opportunity to share my knowledge and 18 years of experience in the fitness industry with you all. So today, what I wanted to talk to you guys about, with all that being said, is how to master the art of coaching. You know, what I have seen after 18 years in this industry and meeting tons of trainers, coaches, gym owners, at the highest level, and then down to somebody it's their first day in this industry, I've gotten to talk to a wide range of people. And then, even the coaches that I've worked with at TTS, we have our interns, we have our coaches. Some come to us with a lot of experience. Some come to us with zero experience. Their only experience is their own training. So, being able to have conversations with such a wide variety of coaches and trainers, I've seen, some of the biggest weaknesses that most trainers or coaches have. All right. Now, with what I'm going to talk to you guys about today, I want you to understand how important this is for your success in this industry. Because we talk about, having the knowledge, having the information, real world experience as you go. If you're somebody who's new, and if you are a veteran in this industry, then like whatever you might learn in a textbook, or what the latest study says, or this meta-analysis, whatever that says, we all know that some of that stuff is bullshit in the real world, okay? For lack of a better term. I know some people are going to get mad at me when I say that, but that's the truth, man. Like, some of those things work really well in a controlled environment. But when you introduce it to real people who have careers, who have kids, who have stress, who have injuries, who have all this stuff going on, a lot of that shit goes out the window. So I just want to be clear with that. And with that being said, now I'm getting friggin' off topic here, but when we consider that, and we can see the issues that most people face in their lives when it comes to health and fitness and nutrition, we know that you're going to need to step up and level up your ability to communicate. And you're going to also need to learn how to coach people at a higher level. Here's what I mean. Okay, so when you are running a training session, you are wearing many hats, so to speak. Not only are you a trainer, you're a therapist, you're a DJ, you're a comedian, you're a friend, you're just somebody that maybe somebody just needs someone to listen. You got to bring the energy up. Sometimes you got to bring the energy down. You have to be a connector and connect people to one another. This is what great coaches do. You got to be able to read and feel the room. And again, this is where I feel that most trainers these days, this is the biggest weakness. It's the ability to coach and to communicate and to connect with people. So there is an art to it. And if you're trying to make money in this industry, then you need to learn how to master this art. It doesn't matter if you're running a group training session or if you're running one-on-one or maybe smaller group and semi-private. The same rules of the game apply, man. You got to be willing and able to enhance your skill sets, not just with textbook sets, reps, studies, and science, but it's about the relationships. It's about the connection. So in a group training session, I mean, look, you gotta, let's talk strictly about group for a second. When people are coming in for a group training session, not only do you have to be prepared with your program, right? And the program needs to make sense because people are going to be starting your program at different times, right? So somebody might start today on March 7th, but then somebody might be brand new to your program on, friggin' March 25th. They need to be able to start your program at any given time. So it needs to be designed that way. All right. your program needs to be designed to onboard new clients at any given time. And as you know, working in the real world with real people, there's going to be people that come to you at different levels. They have different injuries, different medical history, different training ages and experiences. So your program needs to be adaptable. You need to be able to change exercises, modify, regress on the fly. So whenever you're designing a program, you need to have those other exercises, modifications, and all that stuff, regressions, progressions even, have them in your back pocket. So this way you could accommodate everyone. Now, that's just the program. We're not going to spend all day talking about programming. Okay? That's not what today's show is about. But I do want to touch on that because that's so important. So many coaches get lost there because they're like, oh, this is the thing. This is what we're doing. And it's like everybody that's coming in is putting a barbell on their back and squatting, probably not the best idea. And you may not it depends on your model, but business wise, it might not be the best idea to have a newbie class or session and then an advanced session. I mean, you could do that. The problem is it's going to get kind of fuzzy with what times people could make, and that's going to start to impact your business a little bit. And then it's like, well, once you get to, you have 100 clients, 200 clients and beyond, then it's kind of like there's a lot of commonalities, but there's also a lot of differences. So like splitting these programs up kind of gets a little fuzzy. It's not so black and white. So what I like is to have, your one main group program, and then you can modify it, as you go. But you have to be prepared for that, and you have to be experienced for that, be able to make those changes, on the fly. Now, with that being said, you got your program dialed in. All right, beautiful. Now, when people come in, what does the experience look like? So we've talked about culture and customer experience. Now, that's part of this, but it's part of the art of coaching, because this is what sets the tone for that person and how hard they're going to train and how much they're going to enjoy the session. Remember, if I enjoy a training session and I'm having fun, I'm probably going to train a little bit harder, which could yield a better result, right? If I'm training harder, I'm dialed in, I'm not missing sessions, I'm not showing up late, I'm going to get better results. So you want to have, from start to finish, the client experience be exceptional. They walk through your doors, you greet them, high energy, you got good music playing, and the session should start, the same way every time, meaning there needs to be a definitive start of your process here. So for us, it's our dynamic group warm-up. So basically, a minute or two before the session begins, whoever is running the session will review the program, ask if it's anybody's first day doing this program. If there's anybody who's new and it's their actual first day period, we'll make sure we introduce them to everybody so they feel comfortable. We'll buddy them up with somebody who is a veteran at the gym. So this way they could walk them through the warm-up and kind of help them out with certain things that may be confusing for them, and also stay buddied up with them throughout their entire session. So this way the experience for everyone is good. It also gives the veterans a little bit more of a responsibility, which empowers them a little bit too. But we explain the program, we introduce everybody. Now, okay, cool. We know if there's a 9 a.m. session at 9 a.m. sharp, that is when our warm-up begins. And it's the same way every time, okay? People are counting, people are going through it, they know the drills, and we're addressing the common issues that most people deal with, right? And again, the warm-up needs to be modified. You need to be able to modify it. It needs to be adaptable. So having some exercises in your back pocket for the warm-up as well, in case somebody has an injury or something like that. Okay, you got to keep that in mind. All right, so it starts. Now, during the warm-up, okay, back to the art of coaching, as they're going through this session, as they're going through the warm-up, all right, DJ, put your fucking DJ hat on. Make sure that we got good tunes on that exciting, motivating, high energy. Make sure that everybody is counting. If they're not, if they are quiet, right? Let's say for the warm up, we're doing, I don't know, body weight squats, and we're doing 10 of them. We want everybody counting. If they're not counting, or if they're just kind of 1, 2, and it's kind of weak, what do you do as a coach to lift that up to create the energy that you're looking for, so it doesn't kind of keep the energy low throughout the entire session? What are some things that you can do as a coach? That comes down to reading the room and knowing who you're working with, right? There might be some guys that are always just grouchy, and if you're just like, let's go, let's go, let's go, it might annoy them more than anything else. On the flip side, there might be somebody who responds really well to that. Like, yo, wake the fuck up. What are you doing? In a fun way. They might respond really well to that. Then you might have somebody that they're just quiet and they're super shy all the time. And there's no way you're going to get them to count and be loud and to kind of support their partners and whatnot. So that's a time, if it's a small group, maybe where you make some conversation, or you make some jokes, or you ask them how their weekend was, to just get them talking, create some better energy. So it's not just dull and quiet, right? That's the art of coaching. Then when you get actually into a training session, the flow of it, right? So group training program, we need to have a flow. We can't have people running into each other, waiting too long or whatever. There's just got to be a smooth flow with everything. And that's another podcast for another day. But that's got to be a smooth transition from exercise to exercise and what you have everybody doing, and the regression's already prepared. There may be an exception to that regression. You might need to give something else for whatever reason. If there's like a knee injury or something, it might need to be completely off the cuff, but you need to have your stuff in place again, so everything is smooth. Now, during that, remember, there's highs and lows of every training session, right? So there's a time and a place where you want your clients, and you as a coach need to be loud, and you need to be pushing people, and you need to be, really just kind of moving the needle there with energy, and maybe they need an extra kick in the ass. But then there's also some clients, right, in the same session who maybe they go too hard. Maybe they're going too heavy. Their technique's bringing them down. Now, sometimes that's a challenging conversation to have, especially with people who have big egos, to tell them like, yo, look, I know that you just went for 315 there, but it was ugly. It was ugly. And I don't want you to get hurt. We got to dial this down a little bit. 275 might be a better weight for you. So let's do this. I know that you're strong enough to handle 315, but your technique's breaking down. The last thing that you want is to get injured. So why don't we scale that down a little bit? Let's work on your technique, and then we can ramp back up to 315 and beyond, right? That might be a better conversation than saying, yo, what the fuck you doing? Your technique sucks. They might not respond well to that, but some people might. So again, the art of coaching. You got to be able to coach and know the people that you're working with, because certain coaching tactics may not work well with some people, and they might work, and those same tactics might work really well for another person. So you just have to know who you're working with, read the room, understand personalities and how they differ, and how people will respond to exactly what it is you're telling them to do. At the end of the day, as a coach, to master this, you got to put your ego aside too, and realize your job is to, as a coach, is to help people go from where they are to where they want to be. In order to do that and deal with other egos and personalities, you got to realize that your mission is just that. You got to get them from where they are to where they want to be. So that might mean changing up your game for a particular client to help them move the needle, because that's what they're paying you to do, right? I'm not talking about if somebody's a pure asshole or dickhead. Get them the fuck out of your gym. Never want to see them again. That's fine. We've had a few of those. But that's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the people that are there. They're working hard, or they need to work harder, and you need to have these crucial conversations with them so they understand how to get to where they want to be. Now, that's all part of it, guys. But as this is going down, again, who responds to what kind of music? Does this group like rap? Does this group like hard rock? Do they like a little friggin' Jersey? I'm going to take it back. Beatstock. Beatstock came to mind, baby. So KTU's Beatstock back in the day. I think I went in 2005 and 2006, if I'm not mistaken. Man, what a time. What a time. I had my blowout, my gold chain, and I was going hard. It was a good time. But anyway, I digress. But some people like that kind of music is my point. Forgot where the fuck I was going with that. Some people like that music. So you got to make sure that you could read the room. Maybe ask them, hey, what kind of tunes were you in the mood for today? Create a playlist for them. By the way, we're talking about group. This could also be used for your one-on-one clients and probably should be, right? This is their experience, not yours, right? So you have to be kind of willing to adapt in a sense, right? Now, by the way, let me just say this. That doesn't mean that you need to change and try to attract every type of person or client into your gym, because that's the wrong move. So if you, I'm going to kind of, it's going to be counterintuitive to what I just said. But if you and your gym, like if you are always playing hip hop and you're always playing heavy metal and like that's your thing, then that's what you do, and let your brand be your brand. And if those other people don't want to join your gym because it's too quote unquote hardcore or something like that, then that's fine. You should not try to attract and please everyone. So don't make that mistake. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you already have, let's say 15, 20 people that are in this group that have been clients and they're already on brand. They're a good fit for your gym. Know them, know who's in the room. Okay. That's an important point, but do not try to appeal to everyone, because when you do that, you appeal to no one. So that's really important in your marketing and who you are and how you stand out, as a brand, and how you differentiate yourself with the fucking gym down the street, right? You need to have as a gym owner, you need to have your own unique twist on how things are run. Don't just try to do what other people do, and definitely don't try to attract everyone, right? But so with that said, that was more like on the technical side of things, what we just talked about. Sometimes people need that extra push because they need to push themselves harder. Some people need to be dialed down a little bit. All right. Sometimes your energy needs to be really high to push people. Sometimes you got to dial your energy low and have more of a technical conversation with people so they understand that. Again, this is all an art, guys. That's why coaching and training, it's not just about the science. It's how do we get people to get to the next level? How do we move the needle there? So it's like psychologically, this comes down to communication, right? Your job is to influence and help people yield the result that they want. Okay, so don't get lost in just textbook shit, because you're not going to learn this stuff in any textbooks. They're only going to learn this by listening to shows like this, but also the real world, man. You could listen to this all day. If you don't apply and you don't train people and you're not doing this stuff, it's going to be very hard for you to understand and connect and relate to what I'm saying. So you got to do it. That's the big thing, right? So with that, look at the energy, read the room, know how to modify, know how to have your program set up so you could tweak and adjust, know the music, all right? Another thing is the connection that you need to create among people. So, for example, when I go back to what I said earlier, you get somebody that's brand new. If they don't feel welcome and you're not introducing them to everybody and you're not giving them a little shout out saying like, hey, this is their first day, let's help them out. then they're not going to feel good about it. And that's a bad job on your part, because that's part of building relationships. And remember, guys, make no mistake about it. This is the relationship building business. We could say I'm a fucking strength coach and this, and we put all these titles and labels out there, and that's fine. But at the end of the day, you need to be a connector. You need to be a relationship builder. So you got to introduce people. You got to connect them. You got to find commonalities amongst them, and also with yourself. You got to be able to have conversations with them. And I see a lot of people like that's one of the hardest things for so many people. It's like, man, Martin Rooney told me a long time ago, to be interesting, you need to be interested. And that really stuck with me. And it's something that I always teach our interns and coaches, because a lot of people have such trouble starting conversations, just making even small talk. Like, we don't have to have these deep conversations right off the bat, but just small talk. How's your day going? Do you have any kids? What sports do they play? Like, by you doing that and showing people that you care and that you're interested in them, people will now be more interested in you. You become more interesting just because you're asking the right questions. It allows them to feel important. It allows people to then, kind of open up and start to trust you a little bit more. And in this industry, without trust, what the hell do you have? You got to be able to build these relationships, have these conversations with people, get them out of their shell, and able to connect with one another in a group setting, connect with you, because it's so fucking important, Mick. That is the name of the game. You could have the best program in the world. If you suck at that part, your business is going to suck. And on the flip side, right? And listen, I'm a trainer, coach, like I'm a purist with this stuff. I geek out over training, nutrition, and all this stuff. But the truth is, and I hate to fucking say it because I'm a purist, but the truth is, the training is honestly not even that important. Fuck. I hate to even say that. Okay. The training from a business standpoint, okay, the training itself is not that important. Now, hear me out for a second, okay? Because I know some of you other purists out there are saying, well, what the fuck you thought? Listen to me, all right? I'm not saying that your training shouldn't be top notch. I'm not saying that you should not deliver the highest level and quality of service. I'm not saying that you should put some dog shit training program together and just get people to run around the building and do jumping jacks. We all know what is effective and what's not, okay? So it's not what I'm saying. The point of the statement that I just made, because let me ask you for a second. I'm sure you've seen F45 and you've seen Orange Theories and you've seen other places like that, and they're fucking packed. They have tons of clients. Their gyms are slammed. We know that the training sucks. All the purists know, like, you're not really going to get results that way. And you're probably going to get injured. You're going to get some overuse injuries. You're not building muscle and you're just kind of sweating. We all know that sucks. But it's packed. And it's packed because of, most likely, it's not just marketing, because people don't stay if your marketing is good and this other thing doesn't happen. And the other thing that I'm talking about is the relationships. It's the connection. It's making people feel important. It's maybe just the art of coaching is there for some of these people, these instructors or whatever you want to call them that are running these sessions. Maybe they do bring the music and they create conversations and they build relationships. And maybe they do have high energy and low energy and they know how to coach a little bit, right? But it's the relationship. It's how people feel. And if they feel valued, if they feel seen, if they are having fun, That's what matters most. That's what's going to keep people coming back. Now, here's what I will always say. If you can do that and deliver real training, high quality training, and real coaching and programming for a group, general pop group environment, now you have created something really unique and something really special that people are going to see the difference, right? That's one of the things when we get feedback from our clients at TTS, it's like, man, the first thing that they talk about is our coaches and the energy and our culture and our community and how fucking awesome it is and how much fun they have and how they were intimidated at first, but then they felt awesome, and like that's great. But then they'll also say like, hey, and listen, as far as the training goes, I'm doing stuff that I never thought I could do. I thought that lifting, like some of the women will say, I thought that lifting weights would get me bulky. And some of the guys will say, hey, I'm doing exercises that I've never done before. I thought I knew how to train, but now I'm learning how to train correctly. I'm doing things properly. I'm doing exercises and training muscle groups that I never trained before. This is fucking awesome. It doesn't matter if there's newbies and advanced people in the class. Like, now you have magic, guys. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, because I know if you're listening to this show, then you're probably more of a purist. But you also want to grow your business at the same time. If you're listening right now, maybe you want to be doing better in your business, and maybe the potential is there, but you can't figure out how to break through it. And you've heard us talk, go back and listen, guys. We talked about marketing strategies, sales. We talked about fulfillment and, how to retain clients and stuff like that. But man, this is your product itself. If the product sucks, all the other stuff, it's almost irrelevant, right? So like I was saying before, right, is that the training itself almost doesn't matter. Not that it doesn't matter. We still want to deliver the highest level, but the relationships, your personality, the fun that people have, that is what matters even more. So it comes down to, hey, the art of coaching, your ability to communicate, your ability to read the room, to make it fun, to put on the right music, to know when to drive energy up, to know when to bring energy down, to know if you see common technique mistakes, we know, all right, turn the music off for a second. Hey guys, let me get your attention real quick. Here's a common mistake I keep seeing, right? Like know when to interrupt, know when to change, know when to, hey, I know that you wanted to try this safety bar squat, but you're not there. We got to back it down, and how to communicate with them so they don't feel like shit. That's coaching, guys. That's all part of this. And if we master that, and you have the science and the knowledge to back up everything, now we have something really special. You have magic in a fucking bottle. So work on that. Make sure that you enhance your skills, your ability to communicate. My friend Jay Ferrugia talks all the time about the value of improv classes. So a few years ago, I started taking them after learning a little bit improv with Jay, and that was great, and it certainly helped. And then I was able to teach my coaches some of that, and they were able to apply it, and it helped them. So maybe you want to consider taking an improv class, maybe a public speaking class, like going to Toastmasters or something like that. But doing stuff like that, that's going to challenge you and challenge your social skills and your ability to have a conversation. Guys, that is going to be one of the things that really changes your business and your gym, especially if you're doing group training. It's a necessity. It's not just a small piece of it. It is one of the larger pieces. So make sure you master this stuff, you put it into play, and we start growing that damn business. So hopefully this episode helped. Guys, if you are a gym owner who is looking to scale your gym to $20,000 to $50,000 per month in the next 90 days, head over to ironbusinessblueprint.com. Fill out an application and book a call right away. We have I freaking fumbled over my words there. We have a small handful of spots. It's a little bit of a tongue twister. We have a small handful of spots remaining. So don't wait on that. If you are interested in joining the next cohort, learning more and seeing if this is the right fit for your business, go to ironbusinessblueprint.com right now, fill out an application, book a call with me. We will chat and we will break down your business and we will help you grow and scale this damn thing. So I want to thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate the fuck out of every single one of you. And that's all I got. I will catch you next week on another episode of the Iron Life Podcast. Peace.